1, 2, 3, 4. Get your friends about the group chat.
Group chat, group chat.
When your past was in the air. The devil, he don't like it.
Stump that devil, stump that devil.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
Y'all keep
Welcome
singing, can't it?
back. We can hold a little something. You know, every now and then I go out and it don't really sound that well. But welcome back to Get Out the Group Chat. I am Tanzania Black.
I am Shavonna Marie.
And we're excited because today we have our good friend Taura Mickens in the room.
Y'all got a new side.
We did. Upgraded,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Going from level to level to level.
Yes.
Don't really like pink, but I love it.
See, I really don't either, but you can catch me in pink,
You know.
quite some time.
A lot, actually. All right, so before we get into the topic for today, let's go ahead and get into our game.
We're
Y'all still
playing
got
a new
this
game
game.
this season. It's called Who Knows Their Bestie? And we want you to call one of your besties and see if they know you, you know?
Okay.
We're going to ask 3 questions so you can get the calling. 3 questions. They at least got to get 2 right to see who wins at the end of the
3
season.
questions.
3 questions. Very easy questions.
I'm gonna lose. This person ain't known me that long.
These are
Not
3
this person.
easy questions. Most are present day knowledge kind of thing.
Well, She
T.
answered, guys.
Thank you for answering my call. I'm on this podcast and I need you to answer some questions for me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, who do we have?
This is Tisha.
All right, hey Tisha.
Hey, Tisha.
All right, you're on Get Out the Group Chat podcast, and we're going to ask you 3 questions about Tara to see who knows their bestie. So the first question is, you got to at least get 2 right, okay? First question is, what is Tara's favorite color?
Yellow.
Oh, okay. Is that the right answer?
That is subjectively true.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily have a favorite color,
Uh-huh.
but I always tell people if I did, it would be yellow.
Good
That
job.
is
Okay,
Good
so she got
job.
Good job,
Good
team.
job.
Good job, good job. Okay, second one, what is Tara's favorite food?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Favorite food.
Yeah.
That mine don't eat.
Now you know what? That might be the answer. That's a good
She
one.
be over here
If
eating to
you-
live. That's
I
only.
really
If you
do
did
eat
have-
to live. I'm a very fasted person and I don't eat a lot. Can we
Right.
take that answer?
Yeah, no, we're gonna take that one. But if
That
you
girl
had a
don't eat.
favorite food, what would it have been?
Probably salad.
Salad. Yeah,
Nice.
that sounds about right.
You
And
can
then-
have so many variations of salad.
I see your point.
And then the last one is, how many times have she been engaged?
How many times has she been engaged?
Yes. Ooh.
Twice.
Oh, T, you got it. You the goat.
Okay,
job.
good
Send you some
job.
chocolate chip cookies from HEB.
Well, thank you so much for participating, and who knows
Thank
their
you, T.
bestie.
You're welcome.
Bye.
That's
Thank God she
hilarious.
on spring break.
I mean, because you was gonna be bestied out.
Yes,
What, is the country all on spring break at the same time?
I guess so.
I feel like everybody I know is on
That's
spring
in
break.
Memphis. We in Texas.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into our.
Wait, what would have happened if they would have got it wrong? I just
Oh
would
no,
have been a
you
loser.
just yell. You want to get the BFF
I'm always
award.
a winner.
You want to got the BFF award. So yeah.
No food this season.
Right,
Shay said she
yeah.
didn't want to torture y'all again.
I didn't want to torture.
Especially
you.
Thank
remember
you.
she gave you,
Expired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It wasn't expired. It just sat out.
It was old. We
Yeah.
had to talk
Salmonella.
about that.
All right, so we're gonna get into our topic of today, and it is that pain is from God.
So that's a really, really interesting concept
It
because
is.
when you think about God, you think about someone who's just loving and caring, and he's this protector, and he
he
wants you to
is.
be happy and be
he
joyful
does.
all the time. But
Yeah.
you know, he's the lion and the lamb.
Yes,
Right.
he is.
And the lion in him likes to see us go through situations because it's what builds character,
Correct.
Strength, tenacity, all these different things. And so I want to hear from y'all ladies. Share with me just one season where it was just like, I don't know if this is the enemy or if this is God, but by the end of it, you knew, okay,
Yeah.
this is God.
I would say, just for me, I think the last season, when I got
Fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it took you so long to say it.
Don't put her out there.
It was a hard
10
word.
is the group that will put you on Front Street, leave
was
you,
like, when I
drop
got-
you off in a
Yeah,
muddy
it was-
puddle.
I was gonna say when I was dismembered from my
Yeah,
job. Should have
goodness.
said
Let her use
But
her
no.
own language.
when
Thanks,
I left and quit because I was
no.
done with them.
Oh, no. But no, yeah, when I got fired from the last job, it was just that season took me out completely. And I think it's the season of leaving Mississippi. All of that happened in one,
About 3 to 4 months.
literally.
I feel like it was
Grandfather
like 2.
dying, friends situation. It was just crumbling all around me. And I'm like, is this the enemy? I kept blaming like, okay, it's the enemy, da, da, da. But then I had to realize like, okay, maybe this is God really trying to equip me. And I think he was really trying to get me out of Mississippi. Literally, I don't know. Everybody knew like my car was tripping.
Yeah.
For like, I remember it being specific, like started in the end of 2022-ish and all of 2023, it was doing like something interesting where I couldn't like reverse or drive. Like the little thing would do something.
Not the range.
Yeah, the Range Rover just acting monkey
that car
fool
got
on
plenty
me.
of complaints,
Yeah,
though.
Like it do. I looked on the website. I'm like, oh yeah, got a lot of complaints about this Range Rover, but it wouldn't let me, reverse or anything.
I'm just correlating that season with your car. God was like, oh, you going to try to stay stagnant and go
Exactly.
backwards?
Exactly. And
Your car about to go
Wow. So
Right.
reverse didn't work because you were trying
Sometimes
to
I
stay in
think
reverse.
God be in like heaven laughing on this, but
No, for real.
all my
And-
theologians don't
Yes.
check me.
Wow.
And I think I think now looking back is like I should have been going in 2023 and I didn't. And so I'm putting $1,000 in it. And it's like, Lord, what are you doing? Like, like what's happening? And so towards the end, and I think I still stayed because I got my church, I got my friends. So I still was like, okay, I'm pushing, I'm in this. But then towards the latter, it's just like church, friendship, everything just started like acting
Rocky,
weird.
yeah.
And so I just was like, you know what, Lord, maybe it is time to go. Mind you, I think I left in December 20th or 21st, something like that. My friends, shout out to Kiki and Bridget, went to go get my car because it was in Mississippi for Christmas. Brought my car back December 27th, 28th. Mind you, we in like mid-March. We're in March right
You
now.
ain't had no trouble like
Ain't
that.
had not one.
And
one
it
thing
shall
happened to
still
that
be
Range
that
Rover.
way in Jesus'
It's
name.
And I
reversing real good.
I ride that thing to the wheels every time. And it's like, I ride it more here than I was in Mississippi and nothing happened.
Wow.
So I think I'm thinking that pain was from the enemy. That pain was probably from God to get my tail up out of Mississippi and I just wouldn't listen. So listen, people, if anything, listen to what God is saying because, baby, you're going to go around that mountain until you get it right.
God is the originator of you don't believe fat meat is
Yes.
greasy.
Correct.
For real.
That is
That's
so good.
That's,
It kind of reminds you of the doctor, like we're told, like you're supposed to go yearly to get a checkup, and when we don't do the yearly, then our body starts giving us signs, and it's like,
Man,
oh, this
good.
the enemy, but it's like, no, if you would have gotten the checkup 4 months ago, we could have gotten it earlier, and you wouldn't have had to experience this pain.
But
to know
God,
something
in
was
His
wrong.
goodness, gives us the signs because we would just stay there and be
Absolutely.
comfortable. So the
Exactly.
signs are from God.
Exactly. That was good.
And they hurt. It
Oh
sucks
my
that the signs
God.
be hurting, but thank God for the hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It hurt it, baby. It hurt it. But I mean,
So what would you testify to now as far as like what's been happening or the transitions you felt since you've moved from that last season?
I would say just getting to like be in His presence more because I think I was so consumed with work. I had so many stores to watch over and everybody calling me and things like that I didn't even really, now that I'm looking at it, I didn't even prioritize God in that season. So that's probably His way of like, hey, you need to prioritize me in this season. So I've been spending more time with Him. Haven't really maneuvered the working out part. I did, started my therapy and everything like that.
That's good.
And yeah, it's just being whole, happy, healthy. That's pretty much
Taking more trips.
Yeah, I've been
That's
on more
crazy.
trips.
I think it's so
than
interesting. You could
anything.
not have a job, and it's like you travel
Yes,
more.
I did.
Man,
when you
when I
do
didn't
it.
have a job, I traveled so much.
That's
People be
kinda,
like, "Come, I'm gonna pay for it." I'm like, "Okay."
I've been on probably a bunch of trips since, and about to go on some this week. Next week, Atlanta. So it's just traveling more.
Turn
so,
up.
Yep.
Okay.
So what about you, Taura? Though?
My whole life.
Oh,
I feel like my life is like this big merge of pain.
Merge of pain.
But
Not
I'm
merch.
Right.
but God has really graciously shaped my character through it all. I'm gonna talk about the last season. Moving to Houston, and moving to Houston was a thing within itself. Like, not only were we confused about is this God or the enemy, but other people, trusted voices around us, wasn't sure about it. So for me, I lean on wisdom, and wisdom, a lot of my wisdom, I would say like 95%.
Yeah.
Meaning maybe one person, okay, like, I think this is from God. Everyone else was like, are y'all jumping the gun? Or kind of like being okay with it. But you can tell they're like, I don't know if this is God. Then we get here.
Question real fast. I don't know if I should know the answer to this, but I don't really know the answer to this because maybe I was just so happy I was coming that I never asked. So at what sign or what did God say to get y'all to move here? Because y'all are the type that kind of like just goes with the Lord says, not necessarily because there are specific people.
We don't move without God.
That's me.
Yeah. So 2 years prior, we knew we would be moving in 2 years, but we kind of put it in the back of our head, and we were like, okay, God will show us. Yeah. We didn't think it would be Houston because all y'all lived here. Our prior pastors lived here, and we just didn't want people to think y'all are just moving to Houston because it's comfortable. So we were like, surely God's not gonna send us to Houston. Right. And then once we kind of started trending to that 2 year mark, so he spoke this in the pandemic. So to come 2022, we're like, oh, okay, it's time to move, and all the signs were pointing to Houston. Yeah. And we didn't want to tell our then pastor, shout out to him, who so graciously, saw us out, but like, we didn't want to tell him because it was like, oh, y'all just want to leave and go. Exactly. And it's like, but no, God told us through so many signs, which I don't even have time to go through. But once we got here, I didn't have a job lined up. I'm talking, I have a stacked resume. Wow. Like so many connections in Memphis. Yeah. And I just knew coming here, it was like, oh, I can get a job. Right. No job. Like applied to over, at this point, like 700 jobs, like nothing. And then when we get here, we find out we're pregnant. Like 2 days after I got here, I'm good and pregnant. Like, didn't know. And then 2 months after that, the complications started. And my son was born early. So it was just like, and then we had saved close to $12,000, or a little bit over $12,000. By the time my son, we found out we were having complications, savings was like drained because my husband's the only one working. We're living in Houston, living in a luxury apartment. We did all the things. Like, we had months and months of savings. And it just,
you were obedient to God financially.
We were obedient to God. We didn't buy a thing, y'all. We may have bought a few forms of clothing for our kids, but we didn't eat out. That's good. We're doing all the things, and it just, God, it just felt like, where are you? Like, somebody put voodoo on this. Because it's like, surely God wouldn't tell us to do this and leave us in the dumps. Surely he wouldn't do. And even now, I'm like remembering the pain, like of crying at night, like, God, just hear me. Like, please see me, because maybe they were right. Maybe this wasn't you, but I know I heard you, because I wouldn't move without you. Exactly. So it's like, okay, then I had to start digesting. Maybe, and the Bible shows us, like, God is such a good God that he allows us to go through the mountains and the valley. And it hit me, and it's like, this a valley. Like, and now I'm going to have to learn how to trust him more, and faith is going to kick in. So in that season, it was the move to Houston, but it was definitely my son being born at like 1 pound, 3 ounces. Like, oh my God. I don't even have the time to tell the whole story.
The icing on the cake.
Yeah. It's like, Lord, I all this just done happened.
It was so bad.
And now this?
Right, because if it was just the pregnancy, it would have been a little bit easier to digest, but we got the pregnancy, we got like relationships that are weird now because we moved to another city, which is like kind of preventable, right? And then we got finances will take you out.
Yeah, especially because you're going to doctor so much. Ooh.
So then
and babies.
And with two other kids who are at the time were 3 and 1, and any parent can just testify to the difficulty of having kids that small. So they're adjusting, and then on top of that, you got marriage, like the number one cause of divorce, or 1 or 2 is like communication and finances. So everything in our lives was just like crashing and burning.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, it's like funny now. It's like laugh to keep from crying. It was so bad, but God did his good work.
Yeah.
So how could you, or at what point did you realize, okay, this is you, God?
God, she probably said, I'm trying to.
He's still coming through.
Right,
or can you testify to what you've overcome since then? Because your life then and what your life looks like now,
that's two different.
It's different.
That's two different jam-packed questions. I'll try to answer the first one.
Okay.
I think God is so good. In the Bible tells us He'll give us like signs along the way, like even in a difficult story like the Moses and all of that, like you see them traveling to the promised land, you see the difficulty, but like he gives them manna, like it wasn't steak and lobster, but it was manna. And it's like during that time we would have moments where we'd have breakthrough. So even through the complications, the doctor would be like, oh, your child may have Down syndrome, or you know, they thought I had cancer at one point. So it was like a 2-week waiting part, and this is at the same time we're trying to, they know something is wrong. They know this condition my son had only happens in people who have drug use. So it's like, are you using drugs? So I had to get drug tests. Right, you're like so it's like they're looking at me. I'm already a black female. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're looking at me like something's wrong. So they had to, I knew I wasn't on drugs. Never tried even marijuana in my life, right? So I knew that wasn't it, but they didn't know. So I had to go through that. We had to find out if I had cancer or if I had like some other life-threatening disease. Then we're waiting to see if he has Down syndrome on top of other DNA like chromosome like disorders, and it was just 2 weeks of torment. Like, so I didn't mean to go down that road.
No, you're good.
How I knew it was God was just the snippets of like breakthrough in the midst. So like we waited those 2 weeks and everything came back clean. And so then they were just like everything is normal. But then 2 weeks later we're on a down roll again because it's like, oh, your son isn't getting oxygen. So now he may have I can't even think, cerebral palsy. Like he may come out blind. He may come out like, you know, crippled. Like he may not have any good form of life because it's too early. So I think at the time when we found out like it was life-threatening and he was gonna come early, I was like 24 weeks. So at that moment they were like, like if this were a normal pregnancy at 24 weeks, like your chances would be higher, but it's even lower because he's under a pound in your 24 weeks. So even now, listeners, if you look up the charts, you're at 24 weeks, your baby is supposed to be well over 1 pound. So we're facing multiple things. So it's like,
is that when you went to the hospital? Like,
yes,
because I remember you had to stay for a while.
So we went to an appointment. They thought everything was normal, and then they tell us like he's getting no oxygen, he's not getting nutrition. You're gonna have to go into the hospital. Mind you, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Right. We don't have. Remember, I lost my job. Well, I didn't lose my job. I left my job, but my husband's the only one working. Stay-at-home mom, finances. Where these 2 kids gonna go? Exactly. Like, thank God for y'all. We shout out to the friend group, right? That was the friend their group. Godparents and their grandparents. Like my circle rallied around me, but I don't know. I forgot the question at this point, but I realized that God is still God because of the breakthroughs within the pain, and that's why I don't understand why people don't know God, because I don't and I can't fathom going through that type of pain without the breakthrough and the reassurance, and even the prophetic words and the hope of God. That's like the faith. Too, like you can't have faith without hope.
Did you ever have like pockets where you could feel your body or yourself about to lose hope, and you almost had to call yourself like back to like, I don't know, whether it be a scripture or you just spoke to yourself?
I'm sorry. And I hate telling this story, but so many stories of being in the hospital where I've like you're losing hope. Like so for the people who have had babies before, and y'all have been in the room with people who have had babies, you go in there and
I was in the room with you.
Y'all did come with Allie, with my first baby. So when you walk in the room, a woman is 9 months pregnant. She's about to have her kid. You hear the little thing in the background, and it's like, boom, 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 boom. Like you're monitoring the baby. So Micah, we had that monitor on because with his condition, I can't even remember the name, y'all. Trauma makes you forget some stuff. But with his condition, like, his heart rate would drop, so I had to be monitored like consistently. And so what would happen with Micah is you would hear the boom 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 boom, and then all of a sudden it'll go down and it'll be like boom 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 boom. Like y'all can't even fathom as a mom. So that you hear and not only do you hear it, you see the rate dropping from the 140s or the 130s down to 110, like 100. 90. With his condition, also, a lot of women just don't find out, and that's how they have stillborns, because there's no way for you to know that early. Like, you don't know
that the baby's heartbeat is dropping.
Right. So
was knowing his condition ahead of time and the doctors being aware made sure that they checked that?
It was God.
If not, then
so you automatically think the enemy. So is somebody putting voodoo on me? Did I make the wrong decisions? What did I do? What did I eat? Like, is my body going normal? But even the diagnosis, even the catching in the moment, y'all, like, was God. The fact that I was in the hospital and could hear his heart rate dropping at that rate, like, that is a gift from God, but it don't feel like that in the moment, because it's like, well, God, you're a healer. Like, you can heal him. I've seen you. I've seen people come in wheelchairs and walk. Like, this is not me just hearing it. I have seen it with my own eyes. Like, I have seen people with STDs, herpes, like HIV. I've seen their before test with my eyes, and I have seen them come back with a clean record, and science proves that that's not curable. I have seen this. So at the hospital, I'm trying to have faith. My body is like failing me, but I still have to have faith. And in those moments, I had to listen to God. So I hope I'm talking so much.
No, you're fine. You are the guest, ma'am.
Right,
we want to hear from you.
Right.
So one thing that God told me to do, of course, like, I'm in the pain, so I'm like, but I can't get that through this without you guys. So what do you want me to do? One thing he told me to do was fast. Like, and I'm pregnant, I'm emotional. Pregnant women want to eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting up here fasting in the bed. Like, once it wasn't until a couple of months after that I realized the diet that God put me on at the time helped increase blood flow naturally to my baby. So like, just having the opportunity to commune with God and know like, okay, it's painful at this moment, but the Bible tells us he'll give us the instructions like Noah to find out how to get through this moment, and he'll build you in these moments. So I'm sorry, I was gonna go into another story, but
no, you're fine. Go ahead, go to it.
One more story. I hate telling this story, but we're in this moment where Micah's heart rate is just like going down. It went from boom, 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 and it's going like boom, 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 and it's getting slow, y'all, slower. Like, Micah's heart rate got down to the 60s. So at that moment, if you're not, if you haven't been in a moment where a pregnant woman is going through difficult times, at that moment everyone's rushing in the room calling code blue because his heart rate is coding. He's coding on the inside of me. He's dying on the inside of me. And that happened multiple times, but this time he was down 10 minutes. When I hear you, 10 minutes of no oxygen, you guys, that equals to brain,
that's what
brain
damage that equals to death. Like 10 moments of it going down, and then they lost it. So that they lost it at when, okay, so on the monitor he's at 60 and he's lost because he's under 1 pound. I have this monitor on my stomach, but he's so tiny.
Little.
The monitor lost him. So they're calling the surgeon, like, we got to get this baby out of here. So I hear God. This angel of a nurse beside me. She's like, just keep calm. At that moment, she was like, God got you. So in my pain.
The nurse said that?
Yes.
Oh, come
Shout
on.
out to the nurse.
So it was this African lady. I forgot her name, but she was top tier. So in the moment, my husband's in the room, a friend of mine is in the room, and it's like freaking 30 nurses and like people trying to get me to surgery. They're like prepping me, like wiping me down because they have to get, like, they can't find my baby. Yeah. And I'm going somewhere here. At the moment, I hear God say, I had to pee really, really bad. Yeah. Okay. You pregnant, you got to pee all the time. I hear God say, pee on yourself. And I'm like, I'm not finna pee on myself, God.
In front of all these people?
It's so many people in that room. They prepping me for, so you want me to go to surgery, pissy?
Right.
Like, pissy, weesy, tired. Right. So, like, God says, pee on yourself. And I'm like, what? No, God. I'm in the moment. Like, y'all can't imagine my heart rate is going. I'm thinking that my son is dead. And now I hear God say, I can hear God very, like, to this day, like, I have a relationship with him. I hear him say, pee on myself. And so I'm like, I'm finna pee in front of my friend. We just new friends. Okay, I'm peeing in front of my husband. Like, this ain't attractive. This ain't cool. Yeah. So, like, a few seconds into it, I realized I need to be obedient in God, and I need to piss on myself. So I piss on myself.
No, Taura, you pee-pee.
All of a sudden, don't laugh at me. Y'all, these ain't my real friends. That's why I didn't want to pee on myself.
You pee-pee.
Shout out to my friend Danny, who didn't laugh at me in the moment. Y'all wouldn't have laughed at me.
Danny probably just stressed out. Lord, come now.
She was in the corner speaking in tongues.
I bet.
But, yeah, so then I pee on myself, and all of a sudden, the heart rate starts saying boom, boom. They find it all of a sudden, boom, 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 boom.
Just by
boom,
peeing
boom, boom,
on
boom.
yourself?
Yes, by peeing on myself. So once it calmed down, it's like 30 minutes. They realize they don't have to take me to surgery. Micah's heart rate stays up for about 30 minutes. People are dispersing out the room. This same angel nurse looks at me and is like, ma'am, like, you cannot hold your pee, because when you hold your pee, it's like on your bladder is like on the cord. Probably he's already struggling to get oxygen. So she kind of goes through the scientific part of how dangerous it is for me in this moment with my condition to hold my pee. Had I not pissed on myself,
Had you not listened to that voice,
pissed,
baby.
had I not peed on myself and listened to the voice of God in my pain, because when you're in your pain, you don't want to talk to God.
Ooh.
You don't want to have nothing to do with him, because it's like,
good.
why are you talking to me?
Exactly.
Had I not like listened to him and cleaved to him and obeyed, my son probably wouldn't be here. Like, even in the pain, you have to focus on God. I don't care how hard it is, because like Noah, he will give you the blueprint to show you how to build and how to be reformed in that moment. And so had I not peed, and had I not been willing to embarrass me, like Noah, it hadn't rained. Like, people were like, who this guy building a boat for the rain, making fun of him. Had I not been willing to be made a fool of in that moment and be obedient, my son may not be here. And he does not have any brain dysfunction. Not a thing. That baby is so cute.
I mean, cute.
Micah is so
He
cute.
is so cute.
But yeah, I don't even remember the question, but I just told that story.
Right, yeah, you did. But yeah, that's she dropped some gems on there. I don't know if y'all write in the comments, like, if you took something from that story.
Please take something from my pain.
Yes.
She said, please take something from my pain.
Please.
So what would you, if you, Taura, could go back and give a word of advice to the Taura that went through that with Micah, what would be something key you would say?
Man, that's a good question, because even now in this moment, I realize for the rest of my life, I will still go through pain. Like, this isn't it may be the pinnacle. I don't know. I kind of hope, because that one was really painful. I kind of hope I don't got to go through nothing worse than that. But like, even now, daily when I wake up, it's a reminder of how good God is. Like, encounters with God, reminders of faith, it just strengthens your relationship with him. So to this day, I'm still waking up thanking him for that moment. So if I could go back and talk to Taura then, I would be like, just like he got you through the pain of being molested, like just like he got you through the pain of like miscarriages, the pain of, oh my God, I can't even, of being broke, like not even knowing when stuff was gonna come through in college, working 3 jobs, like losing friendships, like being the villain myself, the pain of not finding out I'm not a good person, like that. Just like he got you through that pain, for the rest of your life, he will get you through pain. Like, the pain is, even if it's sent from God, Romans 8 tells us that, like, everything, like, it's still good. He makes everything good. Like, it will still be good, even if the pain is sent from some voodoo person.
Exactly.
God will make it good. He will work everything out for the good of those who love him. So as long as, because saints don't like to say that part, it says for the good of those who love him. He don't just automatically take care of us. But as long as I dedicate my life to him and love him,
that's good.
I'll always get through the pain.
That's good.
So yeah,
I love that.
Do y'all want to see Micah?
Okay, y'all, this is Micah.
Say hey, Micah.
His dad's gonna kill me. He's not like dressed to the nines, but it's a little Tarjay.
Right.
But this is Micah. We actually had his 1-year adjusted appointment. He's over a year, but we had to adjust him because he came 3.5 months early. But he's 17 pounds now. He's tall. He's in the normal height rate.
Yes, he's definitely tall, baby.
Yeah, so he's tall like his daddy. And when I tell you nothing is wrong with him, he's just on the smaller side weight-wise. But make no, worries about it. Micah's gonna come for him. He's gonna be muscular and tall in the future. But no brain dysfunction has happened. He's in therapy physically because he was born so early. But it's a like precautionary thing. He is fine.
You say hi.
Say hey. Hi. You was yelling earlier. Say hey. Say hey.
You got on this podcast, so now you quiet.
He is such a good baby. Micah spent 110 days in the NICU, which was a painful moment. Have me on season 3 and I'll tell you about our NICU journey. But they were calling him Micah the Miracle in the NICU because he just, Y'all, he didn't have any brain bleeds. All my NICU moms, y'all know the fear of this. Look at him. He's so active even now.
He ready. He said, give me the mic, mommy. Give me the mic.
Hi. But everything is fine and Micah is cool. So yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into our friendship stories. This is where I read a story and then they're gonna let us know if we should leave the group chat or stay in the group chat, and then you let us know in the comments what you would do as well. All right, so my best friend of 10 years and I got into an argument because she didn't like what I had planned for my 30th. I ended up doing a quiet restaurant dinner with 20 of our closest pals over the weekend vacation that we had planned a few months prior. I'll admit my fault. We did lose our $500 deposit on the Airbnb that we booked, and the dinner fell on the same day as her boyfriend, who was not invited. I love her and I value her opinion, but it's my day and I should be able to do what I want with it.
I would say, now I wouldn't leave the group chat off of that one. I don't know why this season I've been not leaving the group chat, but I would say, yeah, I wouldn't leave the group chat just for that. I mean, it was her boyfriend's, but
why are you doing this? Because I feel like you think it's something that's...
Because I'm trying to see 10 years of friendship, and just because it was the boyfriend's birthday too.
So it seems like she was frustrated because they lost money on that. So it's money, and it's that, okay, now you decided to do this new thing and it's on the same day as my boyfriend's birthday, but I'm your friend, so I have to show up for you and he's not invited.
Yeah, but I don't have to show up for you when plans have changed. Like
or I could show up for you differently.
Yeah. Okay,
and be like, I'm so sorry. You know, I love you. We got 10 years of friendship. Surely I've been there at least on one birthday.
Exactly.
Like, I would just be like, things changed.
Yeah.
I would love to take you to dinner before the weekend before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But, like, because you changed this, I already made plans for something else.
Now, this is the tricky part now. She did say the boyfriend wasn't invited. Now, the compromise would have just been invite the boyfriend.
Or, I mean, it could be somebody, like, new. So, like, sometimes you want to be in spaces, like, with people
I get
who
it,
are
but if
close
you
to
said you want your best friend of 10 years to be there, you have to compromise. So that would have been the compromise I would have done.
Either way, I don't think she should be at the group chat.
Yeah, that's
fixable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a little fixable.
Do you know how many birthdays we have in life?
I know.
And y'all tell them, switch them plans and make them people lose their money.
Exactly.
That's why people don't be taking accountability for their own stuff. They always be like, well, you should have been there still. No.
Right,
you need to, because we're in a inflation period. Like, no.
Period.
No, eggs are $6.
Not $6.
You know how many eggs
What kind of eggs you buy, Tara?
I don't eat egg. I just thought they were still $6.
Oh God, Tara, whole vegan.
I just know that when I look at the section,
Yeah.
the most expensive egg I saw was $6. Those are the organic, cage free.
Yep, cage free. Yep.
Keep that girl in the group chat, and if not, you the trash friend, and you need to be put out the group chat.
Exactly.
Just need to work it out.
What would you do? Because you be caring if people show up for you. Y'all Tan have a feet. You'll show up for stuff.
I think when you switch plans like that, you kind of have to be okay with who cannot be there because you made an adjustment.
Because you've switched and adjusted before.
Yep.
Yeah, especially like if I'm not willing to compromise bringing her boyfriend there.
Right.
But I am a new human. I'm a new woman.
Oh, so now you know.
And I'm more reasonable.
New season, new you, I guess.
In the next season, I want to interview you.
Oh.
And your escapades on friendships and trips and events. Friendships and events.
We talk about.
Oh, get the event out the group chat.
No. That remember that vacation we all took to the coast.
And we got into it. Y'all, Tan and I are like oil and freaking water. Oil and water. She acted such a fool.
I really could not remember the details. All I remember was the hotel.
You gotta wait.
Oh,
you gotta wait for that
this
episode.
Comes before the episode.
You had the episode without me?
Well,
we need a part 2 where I can tell my. I need to tell my
story.
story.
Put you on season 2.
I tell my story.
It was about the trips. I did say my part. I got upset because I didn't like the hotel. Wasn't that it? And I had an attitude.
No, you got more than upset. But we'll let that stay on that.
We gonna get y'all right.
All right. Well, Tara, thank you for being on.
Tara.
Thank y'all for having
being
me.
Open and transparent and willing
Thank you for letting
to.
Micah come on.
Yes.
And so we hope that you are blessed by just her story.
Yes.
And just the beauty of who God is.
Yeah.
The pain that you're experiencing is probably from God,
Yeah.
but it is for your good.
Yeah.
And so
Tara, do you have like any social media that you can let
I don't
them know
even remember my
that
social
they can
media
follow?
name. I think I am Taura Mickens on all platforms.
Okay.
If it's not there, then I don't know.
I think it is Taura
Yeah.
Mickens, and I suggest following her because in
Yes.
2024, I just really feel like I have this feeling that she's going to start releasing some things, some
Yes.
messages.
Yeah, I really want to tell Micah's story to the masses.
Yeah.
It's really God, and
Oh,
it's
definitely
really
God.
like true that like God will keep you through things.
Yes.
So if you're going through pain, y'all DM me.
Yeah, DM. She
Yes.
is the
Please,
She
I'll
will
help
help you
walk
out.
you through it.
Yeah.
I'm not a counselor, but I do know
Right.
God. So
the
yeah.
counsel of the Lord.
Oh my
Of the
gosh.
Lord.
All right. And if you would like to be a part of our close friends, go ahead and go to
Yes.
Instagram, DM us, and say, I want to be a close friend,
Right.
and we will add you to our
You can
close
see
friends.
more of Micah. No.
Yes, behind the scenes, what we do in our day-to-day life, the fun
Yes.
stuff we're doing, and then
Yes.
even some previews on the episodes.
And don't forget, we got Shout Your Bestie Out.
Shout your bestie out.
What? Shout Your Bestie Out. Shout Your Bestie Out.
out.
So yeah, go ahead, get the details at the bottom where you can just shout your bestie out.
I have
We'll
a lot of
do a
besties to shout
See?
out. Can I
Okay,
shout
then.
someone out?
Yes.
Shout out to all of y'all for being my bestie for so many years.
Okay.
Seeing me through all type of seasons.
All right.
Cute, because Tara is really the friend. Now,
Oh my gosh.
to get there with her, it might take a little while because she's an introvert. But
I am,
when
yeah.
you become her friend, she becomes more than a friend. She's
Yeah.
definitely a sister.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely do that so you can shout your besties out. We'll do some videos, live videos, or whatever to shout your bestie out. Thank you for being on with us, Tara, and that's a wrap for Get Out the Group Chat.
See y'all next time.
Love y'all. Bye.